The Ball family is one of the most famous families across all sports. It's not common for two brothers to make it to the highest level of professional sports, let alone three. With LaMelo Ball finding a new home at the 2020 NBA Draft and his oldest brother Lonzo being drafted 3 years prior, LiAngelo Ball is the only brother of the family not in the NBA, yet. LiAngelo went undrafted in 2018 and has come close to making NBA rosters since. He's played in the G League for some time, but projects to be an NBA caliber player in the near future. The three brothers played high school basketball together at Chino Hills for only one season, but can the whole Ball family one day reunite and once again play for the same team, this time in the NBA? Join us now as we take a look at why the Ball brothers will one day play for the same NBA franchise, and how history shows that for the Balls, family is always first. Lavar Ball's plan to give birth to future NBA superstars wasn't something that he thought of when he saw how good his three kids were in the youth California basketball scene. According to Lavar, this meticulous and articulated plan was decades in the making. It goes as far back as the moment in which Lavar chose his future wife, Tina Slatinsky. Lavar was a college basketball player at California State Los Angeles University, and if he was to have NBA superstar sons, he'd need genetics to be on his side. This is allegedly why he set his eye on Tina, a fellow college basketball player, because of her length, height, and breeding hips. Ever since that first time he saw her walking down the hallway, he recalls, he knew she was the one. After graduating college, Lavar was spotted by the coaching staff of the New York Jets in a summer Pro-Am basketball league. The Jets coaches were just cutting through the gym to save time getting to their bus after a team workout, but they were very interested in Ball's physical tools. Things didn't work out in New York, but Lavar still ended up making the practice squad of the Carolina Panthers, where he made about $6,000 per week. He was forced to retire from football due to injury and returned to California to become a personal trainer. With the money he'd made in his short NFL stint, he bought himself a new car and a 2-story house in Chino Hills. He married Tina shortly after. The plan was underway, Lavar said. Get me them boys. I told her I wanted 3 boys, and that's exactly what I got. If you ask Lavar about the moment when he knew Lonzo, his first son, was going to make it into the NBA, his response shouldn't be a surprise. As soon as he came out of the womb, I told him he was born to go pro. What some people may perceive as an arrogant, clout-chasing patriarch is actually a man that spoke his family's future into existence. Because as over-the-top and unorthodox as Lavar Ball is, you can't deny he raised athletes that were born to win. Your mom's a PE teacher, I'm a trainer, she's big, I'm big, you guys are big, your last name is Ball, what else you gonna do? Lavar was dead set on training his kids to make it into basketball's highest stage, something in which he succeeded. However, despite what many people think, the road for the Ball brothers to basketball stardom hasn't been an easy one. In their infancy, the three brothers would play together on a team named the Big Ballers, which was, of course, coached by Lavar himself. Rather than matching them up against other kids their age, and even when there's a 4-year age difference between Lonzo, the oldest brother, and LaMelo, the youngest, Lavar would still have them competing against older opponents. When the boys were 7, 9, and 10, they'd play against the 8th graders and they'd run them into the ground. The adversity the Ball father put his sons into from a very young age forced them to develop a desire to continuously get better, as well as the competitive edge that characterizes their dad. As the first pieces of Lavar's prophecy started falling into place, Lonzo made the jump from youth to high school basketball. He enrolled at Chino Hills High School, a move many people didn't know the motives behind as the school wasn't really known for their basketball program. Just before Lonzo's arrival, Chino Hills had gone 17-11 in their prior season. But the eldest brother's sole presence helped the school turn its fortune around, as Chino Hills finished 24-5 at the end of Lonzo's freshman season, in which he averaged 14 points on 69% shooting. Things got even better once the three brothers arrived at Chino Hills. During Lonzo's senior season, which was LiAngelo's junior and LaMelo's freshman year, the brothers led Chino Hills to an undefeated 35-0 record and capped their season with a state championship. That year, Lonzo averaged a triple-double and was honored with the Naismith High School Player of the Year award. He went on to accept a scholarship at UCLA next year in what would be a one-and-done season. Even though the Balls were known locally and were regarded as basketball sensations in the area, few people outside of California or the hardcore college basketball fans knew who the entire Ball family was. That all changed on December 26, 2016. After Lonzo left Chino Hills, LaMelo was given bigger playmaking and ball handling duties in his sophomore season. On that late December 2016 night, LaMelo Ball drained the now infamous half-court shot he had just called a couple of seconds earlier. The clip of the 45-footer went viral on social media, and all of a sudden, everybody knew who the Ball brothers were. Lonzo was balling out at UCLA and eventually finished the season averaging 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists, while helping lead the Bruins to a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. LaMelo and LiAngelo were taking their games in Chino Hills to new heights, all while their father Lavar Ball handled the media appearances and kept himself relevant with one outlandish remark after another. This is one of the biggest hits on Lavar, but as he's proven, there's no such thing as bad publicity. The publicity was good enough that it led to the creation of the Big Baller brand, the official brand of the Ball family. They started selling branded t-shirts, hoodies, slides, and several other items. The Ball brothers were becoming better known with every passing day, and shoe companies were very quick to offer Lonzo compelling deals as soon as he was eligible and on his way to the 2017 NBA draft. That's when Lavar asked for a $1 billion deal. The contract would cover all 3 of his sons throughout their entire careers. All shoe companies, as you would expect, rejected the offer, and Lavar opted to create his son's own signature shoes with the Big Baller brand. Just like Lavar had predicted long before, Lonzo Ball was drafted 2nd overall in 2017 by the Los Angeles Lakers. It was a dream come true for the much more reserved Lonzo. He, just like his 2 younger brothers, had been put through an unfathomable amount of pressure by his father and still managed to deliver. Do you know how embarrassing it would have been for Lavar to call his son a top NBA draft pick prior to the college season, just for Lonzo to fall outside the lottery? Like it or not, the man is banked in most of his big takes. LaMelo can also proudly say he was a lottery pick as well. These brothers somehow were able to exceed the ridiculously high expectations their father set for them. But if you've been paying attention to their story, you know the brothers are used to facing adversity and exceeding expectations. While Lonzo was in the middle of his first NBA season, LiAngelo and LaMelo opted to go pro overseas. They signed with the Reuniting basketball club in Lithuania, and their move overseas was highly covered by American media. The more mature LiAngelo got much more meaningful playing time than his then 17-year-old brother, as the middle Ball brother finished the season averaging 12.6 points and 2.7 rebounds while shooting 41.5% from the three-point line. They left the team at the end of the season, in part because they thought LaMelo would get more playing time. That's when LiAngelo declared for the 2018 NBA draft, despite many analysts believing he wasn't talented enough to get drafted. LiAngelo went undrafted. Lavar then launched his junior basketball league, a proposed alternative to college basketball that compensated players while developing them for the NBA. LaMelo and LiAngelo were the bright stars of the whole league and finished the JBA's only season winning the JBA championship with the Los Angeles Ballers. After their JBA year, LiAngelo decided to undergo ankle surgery and missed the 2019 NBA Summer League. LaMelo, meanwhile, was still a full year away from being eligible for the draft. Thus, he decided to continue playing pro basketball overseas, this time in Australia. He played 12 games for the NBL's Illawarra Hawks, averaging 17 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 6.8 assists, before returning to the United States in the middle of the season to continue preparing for the 2020 NBA draft. Funnily enough, LaMelo ended up winning the NBL's Rookie of the Year award. He also returned to the US as one of the top prospects in the 2020 NBA draft class. He'll be the best of the 3, said Lavar back in 2017. Maybe the best ever. Best ever is perhaps the highest bar Lavar has set for him, but LaMelo is yet to disappoint during his basketball journey and looks poised for bigger things. Now that both Lonzo and LaMelo are in the NBA, and LiAngelo is a step closer as a part of the G League, the question is, will they all reunite and play together one day? The answer is, most likely yes. If the Ball family's story has revealed anything major about them, it's that family is always first. Even after their Big Baller brand was involved in a huge scandal with Alan Foster, a former family confidant that committed fraud and stole from the business, the family is still as close as ever. LaMelo and Lonzo both distanced themselves away from the Big Baller brand to become their own men, a clear sign that they've stopped letting their father run their lives. But the fact Lavar isn't controlling them anymore doesn't mean they won't ever play together. They were teammates throughout their entire childhood. They had one magical season together at Chino Hills that was overly successful and left them wanting more time with each other. It's only the right storybook ending for the Ball brothers to one day reunite. Now, which team could make it happen? The most likely destinations are either the New York Knicks or the Los Angeles Lakers. A mega famous family is best suited for the New York bright lights and the Madison Square Garden big moments. Besides, if there's a team that would take a chance on something like this happening, it's for sure the Knicks. The Lakers would be the ideal destination given it's their hometown team and it could still happen. It just depends on how much the Ball brothers develop as players, as the Lakers are all about winning. Lavar did everything in his power, and things many other dads probably wouldn't have, for his kids to become what he always wanted to be, a pro basketball player. As controversial as you may think his means were, he got the job done. And the best part of all is that through thick and thin, the family still loves him to death. Said Lonzo, when you're in elementary school and all the parents are dropping off their kids and stuff, and you see my dad come in an Escalade, 24-inch rims on it, usually just bumping, he doesn't care about anything. He's a little different, but I love him. That same love the family has for one another will one day reunite their life paths in the same NBA franchise, and we can't wait for when it finally happens. Do you think the Ball brothers will ever team up on an NBA team? Will they even be around for long enough to reunite? Or will the hype surpass their talents? Let us know in the comments down below, and as always, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel.